What's good, YouTube? We're here for another market watch, and the first notable thing is that Ojama King Ultimate Rare has sold out on TCG Player. So, Link Summoning has been announced, and people are trying to find cute ways to stop it that aren't really gonna do much for them. Ojama King dies to field wipe, dies to a lot of things, gets taken care of relatively easy. I get the kind of thought of, if I've already turned on my Link and then I'm able to summon Ojama King, they can't do anything. They're locked, but a simple field wipe will do it, kiddos. And the cheapest from Canada is before it's $18. So the buyout's real here, but it doesn't make sense. Don't buy this card. Stop right now. Now, what I am going to tell you to do with the new mechanic is think of how to work with it. If you're going to be investing already towards it, which I would not immediately start throwing stacks, but I would consider some things to get now that are cheap. One thing that I just mentioned is the Agent of Creation Venus, and the super rare is under $1, and you can get tons of versions for on the cheap right now. All under dollars, and what it does is it's going to summon Shine Balls for even if you draw them in hand. And that will unlock immediately your Link Zone. And if you're confused about what I'm talking about, there's a tutorial on how to do it on the channel. I'll link it at the end of this video. But basically, people are like, no, John, you need an effect monster. No, you don't. There were more Link monsters announced than just the Ace monster. Here we have M-X-Saber the Video Knight, and he just takes... he's an Earth Machine Link type monster. Link 3, materials 2 or more monsters. You notice it does not say effect monsters there. Like any mechanic, we're going to see cards with different restrictions. Like this takes Earth Beast type Link effect and effect monsters. But as we see, we already have our first generic to unlink the extra deck. So, unlink. But anyways, like I was saying, here, we actually have a monster that's going to relatively easy use that card to unlink your entire extra deck. And you can think along the lines of decks that already would work, but remember, Instant Fusion Norden is a huge part of this deck. But we see, you know, Mermail Atlanteans could be very strong in the beginning of this format, as they're already strong in this meta. They're still topping regionals in this meta. They're still relatively good, so we very well could see decks that don't rely on the extra deck necessarily, but Instant Fusion's a huge extender for advantage in this deck, so you'll still want to try to figure out ways kind of to get your zones active without committing too many resources. But I would think, you know, 33 cents, something like that is a good pickup. $1 lowest on eBay, but, you know, obviously TCG Player, if you're picking up a set, you can buy all 3 shipped for $1. That's ridiculous. So I would go ahead and consider that. But again, this is just to point out, don't be buying cards like this that restrict the opponent. Ground Collapse, Ojama King, generic destruction works on them, and they're just not going to be that good in my opinion. But again, this is an opinion-based thing. Obviously, the market is speaking otherwise. But again, the same kind of thing with, like, Ancient Leaf with that rumored thing is completely different than this, actually, is what I was going to bring up. But because this is a confirmed thing, just think of simple Yu-Gi-Oh! And think that how many ways can I get rid of this? And they're also going to have to access their zone, and then on top of that, use the resources to summon this. Just think about those things, guys, before you get your wallets out. Think about those kinds of things. Like this. This will automatically enable your links. This has to have links enabled, and then is a shutoff only for 2 zones. Stop it, guys. Scrap Recycler is up to $7, again, because of Crystons. That's literally it. $7 common. So if you have yours, get it. Adam Corn, of course, being one of the lowest as usual. Actually, both of the lowest. Never mind. Saw the second before the first. Adam! Oh, man, he's been doing so good. He really is basically the cheapest board white on TCG Player until he gets bought out a lot of the time. $7 on eBay as well. Last time I featured it was $5. That's a 33% increase. Pretty insane to me that this common. So you might want to start picking your bulk, looking around, thinking about what to do about your scrap recyclers, or if you're hyping up your Crystron deck. Oh, Cristrons. I'm not making fun of them there. My roommate actually has a Crystron deck. It's kind of funny. He actually needs Scrap Recycler. Doesn't want to pay the $7. It's so funny. Oh, man. The market is really just being so volatile lately. Takum Tom Borg has crept up over time, and actually we see a low of 250, which is brand new. Last night it was much higher than that, and as you see, there's only one at 250. It's kind of naturally crept up to be about a $4 card, even as a one-of, just for the amount out there. But there's a deal right now, actually. That's surprising, because when I loaded it last night, the lowest was 4, and we see on eBay the lowest is 4. Let me refresh to make sure I refreshed. Yep, lowest is 4 on eBay, so one person wants to sell theirs right away. Second Chance Gaming wants to get rid of it at 250, then we see 350, then we see 4. So it's kind of naturally crept up to 4, but there are people willing to sell for cheaper. You could always try to get a deal in person. Remember, guys, buying is not the only way you can trade. I want to start emphasizing stuff like that in Market Watch. Left arm offering is up, 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 up. 1350. You see, it was at 12. I think I last featured it around 10, but I'm not sure. I don't think it should keep going up. A lot of people are playing 3 of it, yes. It's from Millennium Pack, which is a very cheap set, $1 per pack or something, that also has Card of Demise in it. So you could actually, technically, probably go buy 30 Millennium Packs and get this card much cheaper than the rate. It just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe Millennium Packs are all gone. Maybe I'm crazy. But I really don't see the point of this continuing to increase in price. I get that it's used in almost any grass deck. $12.50 cheapest on eBay before it quickly goes up to that $13 mark and then continues. I just don't think it should keep going up. I think it should actually be going down. I think it should be resting at $10, maybe even $8. Because a lot of people are considering even not playing it. People are playing 40 card versions. There are 60 card versions that, of course, need this. But a lot of people end up siding it out because of side deck cards such as Different Dimension Ground and Lancia, making, you know, lawn mowing kind of almost an ineffective card in Game 2. And then sometimes even in Game 3. I really think this should be a $10 card. But again, the market dictates what the market dictates, right, guys? I just see it going down. That's my opinion, even though it's trending upwards. Stardust Dragon across the board is up. Very interesting. We see there's not a light play under 4 here. A near min at 3. That's actually brand new, Conway Games. And then we see $4. Most all of these are about $4. Kind of just interesting to see a board-wide increase on the card. There was not one under 450 on eBay till this morning, and then it's 440, and I believe that's actually the lowest near mint. And then I just typed in Stardust Dragon to try to show you all versions. The cheapest versions are starting to head towards 5. Just very interesting because we're getting a Stardust Dragon reprint very soon. So I think I would actually hold off on Stardust Dragon if you're actually wanting one for collector value or whatever. Because there's going to be a new version of it coming out that I would think, since it's a cover card, would be kind of easy to get, but it's going to be in that new ultra rare rarity, I believe. So maybe wait to see how it looks, wait to see what it does to the market on the commons and stuff if you want to collect this card or have it to play. I know Starlight Roto is actually being considered used like My Body as a shield, because it also hits Twin Twisters. Obviously doesn't hit Cosmic Cyclone and other kinds of things, but I don't know, guys. Is it deserving? Yeah, it's an iconic card. It's a good effect. Not played that much in the meta. It's really for its collector value, I'm guessing. M-X-Saber Invoker has been going up. It's at 66. You see the market price 62. I think I last featured it at 50 or 60. But last night, the lowest was actually 80. So this guy put his up. Second Chance Gaming, again, wanting to sell fast. And then we see 80. And eBay was actually very similar. We're going to go to the real one. There was a 62 last night, already sold. There's a 65 and then 70. So it's looking like 70 may be the new price it's headed towards, which is insane. Basically, like I said, that same thought of like swapping it for a Crystal Wing, I think I said before, back and forth. It's kind of insane. This one-of enabler is so much without a reprint, all the way from Orcs. What do you guys think? Is it deserving? Yeah, it's such a combo enabler, it kind of is. But the deck is so expensive and it just keeps getting more expensive. It's crazy. I remember when this was 30 and I thought that was crazy. Man. Madolche Magellan is $13. That's actually kind of standard. I just wanted to point this card out because I want to shout out Tainted Wisdom also for probably making this happen on TCG Player. You see Amazonas Archer with this. If you know Tainted Wisdom, that was funny, but then I noticed this. So definitely shout out to that guy. His OTK videos are crazy. But it's kind of funny that that appeared with it. But $13, I just wanted to know. I think last time I featured it, it might have been 10 or 11 just to let you know you had a card. It's been creeping on up. So, again, just, you know, maybe you have one in your trade binder. I want you to be aware of what it's at. And we see the actual lowest mint on eBay is 15, so just creeping on up. It just keeps doing that, you know? So, just something to note. Old cards that don't get reprinted seem to be really just retaining value and going up, even if they're not played because of popularity or collectability, or this kind of has that it's a girl too kind of thing, which is unfortunate. It is a thing. But people do like to collect those kind of things. So, what do you guys think? Again, I personally would hold way off on this card and be considering enablers and trying to figure out how to break the format. And again, going with what would work through a format like that anyways. Mermail's very close to... Mermail Landing's very, very close to being the new Gladiator Beast of old, where a new format comes out and they're good. You know, you can get a set for $1. That's pretty insane to me. Scrap Recycler, still going up. Oh, man. Attack of Baton Board creeping up as well. Creeping up. Oh, man, everything just seems to be creeping up. Yu-Gi-Oh's getting so expensive. But maybe the new mechanic will put a cooler on all these prices as well. And should be interesting to see what kind of ban list takes place before it as well. Thanks for watching, guys. And what do you think is going to be broken in that format?